Oh, hello. I come back again as we are talking about Zimbabwe in the month of Juneteenth. As we are celebrating June and Juneteenth achievements. We would also ask President Obama to remind him that IMF is demanding US $133 million from Zimbabwe. If I could just take you back to Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe is the size of Texas, and in the month of Juneteenth, President Obama gives only one person from the unity government $73 million after the unity government had said it will need $10 billion. And IMF at the same time, while President Obama gives only one person $73 million, IMF is demanding $133 million from Zimbabwe before sanctions can be lifted. Yet, when we look at President Obama, you will pledge billions to Pakistan, billions to Afghanistan, and Israel gets billions per month. And when it comes to Zimbabwe, you only pledge to one person $73 million. Yet sanctions that were imposed on Zimbabwe by President Bush, they have caused so much damage that to bring it where it was, Zimbabwe unity government is estimating $10 billion. One thing we never hear when you make benchmarks to be reached by TSVANGIRAI is that you fail to mention that Britain duped Mugabe at Lancaster Agreement, just the way this guy here, Rhodes, duped Chief Lobengula. How did Britain dupe Mugabe and Como? They were duped, and that Britain would pledge $2.6 billion or $2.5 billion. And do you know what? Britain failed to fulfill its contract and failed to pay the £2 billion still owed to Zimbabwe. And when we hear of Britain last week saying it's going to lift partially its sanctions and allowing some of the ministers to travel, it's cause for concern because sanctions have crippled Zimbabwe through being banned from doing business with major businesses. It is interesting because some of the things that we hear are that, oh, we cannot do that because Mugabe is a dictator. Yet, when he gave his speech, President Obama, he gave the speech where in Egypt, where the leader is considered a dictator and has been there for 28 years. President Obama also praised the late Bongo of Gabon, who has been in power for 41 years. Yet, this month or last month, President Obama, actually in June, he sent praise to President Gabon of Bongo. So we see that there are a lot of discrepancies in the foreign policy. Museveni of Uganda has been there for a long time, but all we hear is that, oh, you know, you have to improve on your democracy. If we look in this book here, which I bought, which is called News African, and if you read through, you will find that it says that the British sponsors MDC through Westminster Foundation an annual of 4.1 million. Is that democracy if you are going to funnel funds into only one party? And then it also states that the USA also has direct funding to MDC. He was given 10 million, and today President Obama gives him 73 million. This is causing a lot of, inconsistency in the foreign policy on Zimbabwe. And if we look in this book here, you will find that this MDC Caucasian lady is a member that was assaulted by his faction. But it's amazing, by this faction here, MDC, and yet when when all what we see is making only one person the sinner. So here, according to this book here, you find that there are also elements where we are not telling the truth, and only when we tell the truth, like you stated, in Egypt, then we will have peace in Zimbabwe. Even this book, it says MDC on MDC. How do you reconcile that, Mr. Obama? So think again on your foreign policy, and we hope peace will prevail in Zimbabwe through fairness, through respect of the unity government, and through fairness. Thank you.